You know what's crazy? The moment you finally stop caring, I mean really stop caring, the entire energy of your life changes. You stop chasing, you stop begging, you stop waiting for a message that never comes. And it's not because you've become bitter or cold. No, it's because you've burned through enough emotional pain to finally see clearly. And that clarity, it's what changes everything. You wake up one day and you're just done. Done overthinking, done checking your phone, done imagining scenarios where they come back, say they're sorry, and everything magically works out. You don't even feel anger anymore, just silence. A calm, quiet detachment that feels more powerful than anything you've ever experienced. That's the moment when something shifts inside of you. The moment you reclaim your power, not by forcing it, but by letting go. And that's what most people don't understand. Letting go isn't weakness. It's not giving up. It's a silent internal decision to stop pouring your soul into someone who doesn't even see your worth. It's choosing peace over pain, power over obsession, self-respect over temporary validation. Because the truth is, chasing someone who doesn't want you will destroy you. Slowly, quietly, piece by piece. You'll lose yourself in the process of trying to convince someone else to see you. And when you finally stop caring, when you really mean it, you realize the love you were giving them, it was meant for you all along. Let's talk about what really happens when you stop caring, because this isn't just about moving on, it's about transforming. You see, most people think detachment is something you fake, like pretending you don't care so they'll miss you. But pretending isn't power. Pretending is still rooted in hope. It's still driven by reaction. You're still performing, watching, waiting. And that waiting, that's emotional slavery. That's handing over the keys to your inner peace and letting someone else decide when you're allowed to feel okay. But when you actually stop caring, when you finally accept that this person is not yours, never was, and probably never will be, something deeper happens. You stop looking outward, and for the first time in a long time, you look inward. You stop asking, "What did I do wrong?" And you start asking, "Why did I tolerate that for so long?" You stop trying to get answers from someone who couldn't even give you honesty, and you start giving yourself the closure they never could. And it hurts. Oh, it hurts. Don't let anyone tell you that detachment is easy. It's a grieving process. You're letting go of a version of yourself, the version that tolerated breadcrumbs, that chased, that begged, that waited. That version of you dies. And in that death, something far more powerful is born. It's not numbness. It's not indifference. It's emotional discipline. It's the ability to feel everything, the pain, the loss, the memories, and still say, "I choose me." You stop caring because you finally realize you were never truly cared for. Not in the way you needed, not in the way that honors love. You were tolerated. You were a convenience. You were loved only when it was easy. And that's not love. That's manipulation. When you stop caring, you stop tolerating inconsistent affection. You stop accepting silence as an answer. You stop confusing passion with chaos or attention with affection. Because here's the brutal truth. She didn't forget to text you back. She just didn't care enough. She didn't lose your number. She just kept it there, unread, as an option. You were a backup plan, an emotional crutch, someone to run to when things didn't work out with someone else. And I know that's hard to hear, but you have to hear it, because that truth is your freedom. You'll never heal if you keep romanticizing the person who hurt you. You'll never move forward if you keep telling yourself, maybe she just needs time. No, she had time. She had chances. She had your loyalty, your patience, your devotion, and she used it to feed her ego, not to build something real with you. When you stop caring, you stop giving her that power. You stop showing up in her inbox every time you feel lonely. You stop hoping for breadcrumbs when you deserve a feast. And here's the part no one tells you. That's when she starts noticing. Not because she loves you, not because she suddenly woke up and saw your worth, but because she feels your energy shift. That void you used to fill with desperate love, it's empty now, and she can feel it. Women are deeply intuitive. She knows when you've checked out, not when you fake it, not when you're playing a game, but when your heart genuinely no longer bleeds for her. She feels it in her bones. And that's when the messages start coming in. That's when she suddenly remembers your worth. That's when she gets curious. That's when she wants to check in, but don't fall for it. Because the moment you care again, the moment you respond, engage, try to talk it out, she'll know she still has control. She'll know your healing wasn't real, and the cycle will start all over again. That's why detachment has to be real. You don't walk away to make her chase. You walk away because you finally see the truth. She's not for you, and you're done bleeding for someone who never intended to heal you. When you stop caring, you stop asking, why doesn't she love me? And you start asking, why did I love her despite the way she treated me? You start seeing patterns. You realize that what you called chemistry was actually emotional chaos, that the highs and lows weren't passion, they were inconsistency, that the anxiety you felt before sending a text wasn't excitement, it was fear of abandonment. You see it all clearly now, and clarity is a gift. A painful one, yes, but a necessary one, because clarity leads to standards, and standards lead to peace. When you stop caring, your standards rise. You no longer settle for someone who only wants you when it's convenient. You no longer wait by the phone, rehearsing messages, wondering if your silence will make her miss you. You stop living in reaction. You start living in intention. You go to the gym, not to impress her, but to reclaim your body. You level up financially, not to prove anything, but because your future deserves it. You cut off the what ifs, because you finally had enough of living in limbo. And the world starts responding to this new version of you, because you've become rare, you've become still, you've become centered, and in a world full of men who chase, who fold, who lose themselves for temporary affection, you've become different. You're no longer begging for love. You are love. You are peace. You are presence. That's the power of truly not caring anymore. You don't do it to attract her back. You do it to come back to yourself. And if she ever does come back, if she ever realizes what she lost, you'll be in a place so strong, so grounded that you won't need her anymore. Not out of bitterness, not out of revenge, but because the man you've become no longer recognizes the boy who once needed her validation to feel enough. This is where freedom begins. When you finally stop caring, you don't just walk away from her. You walk away from the patterns, the wounds, the fears, and the lies you used to believe. You stop believing that love should hurt. You stop believing that silence is normal. You stop believing that you have to fight for someone who never fought for you. And slowly, life begins again. The sun feels different, music hits deeper, your breath is slower, your mind quieter. You're not in a rush to fill the void, because the void is now a space you protect, a space where peace lives, a space where self-respect has finally returned, and you realize this is what real strength feels like. Not anger, not ego, not revenge, but peace. That's what happens when you finally stop caring and mean it. And if you're in that place right now, if you've just reached that breaking point where your soul feels done, let it be done. Don't fight the silence. Don't fear the stillness. Let it burn. Let it clean out every last hope, every last fantasy, every last lie you told yourself about who she was. Because the truth, she was never what you imagined. She was a lesson, a mirror, a storm that shook you awake. Now, it's time to rebuild. And this time, you're not building yourself around someone else's love. You're building from the inside. And when you do that, when your strength is no longer dependent on who stays or who leaves, you become unstoppable. You become the man no one can manipulate, because the man who truly stops caring is the man who finally starts living.